this looks like a peak video. The 7 most broken operators in Rainbow Six Siege history.
There are over 70 operators in Rainbow Six Siege right now, with Ubisoft intending to add many more. Most of these operators on release are fairly
Chat, this is a peak video. The 7 most broken ops.
balanced. However, in this video, I've
Siege
selected
history.
7 particular operators that were absolutely broken on release. In chronological order, the first broken operator in Rainbow Six Siege history was actually Thatcher. The way that Thatcher works now is a little bit different than how Thatcher used to work in the past, which is why some of you watching this video might be wondering how Thatcher was ever even overpowered.
I remember,
As you know,
I remember when Thatcher was broken.
Right now, just disable any electronic gadgets in the radius of the EMP grenades.
Oh yeah, they used to break them.
He wouldn't just disable the gadget. No, he would completely destroy the gadget. This made
Yeah.
bandit tricking way harder and essentially disassembled
I remember
an entire
this.
defense with the throw of 1 grenade.
Dude, also, Prime Thatcher could counter like half of the defender's electronic gadgets. And like he said, it wouldn't disable it, it would fully break it.
GPS satellites, unmanned drones.
Oh, this video's
fucking
good!
laser sights. The more crutches you have, the more it hurts when they're kicked out from under you.
Aura!
If there's one thing I know for sure,
Is that a
it's that a
6-inch
6-inch blade
never loses
reception.
Aura!
Back then, the EMP grenade effect would still
Aura!
break many walls, and Thatcher still had
If there's one thing I know for sure, is that the 6-inch blade never loses reception.
3 EMPs.
Aura, dude!
It was a must pick every round because you could kill almost all utility for absolutely free. Not only this, but when the operator bans eventually came out, he was and still technically is the most banned operator of all time throughout the years that operator bans have been a thing. Also, secondary EMP grenades weren't always a gadget, meaning that the only way to help get walls open back in the day was to use a Thatcher. This made Thatcher not only picked every round for how broken he was, but also because no one could do what he did nearly as easily. It's safe to say that support players back in the day absolutely had it made, and Thatcher was undoubtedly overpowered for support players. Let's move on to an operator that was overpowered.
Blackbeard! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Blackbeard. Blackbeard on release worked a lot different than he did.
This was
As of right now,
disgusting!
Blackbeard is a shield operator, and his ability allows him to remove the top part of his shield to expose the assault rifle in his hands, which allows him to shoot you from behind his shield. This is still broken, don't get me wrong, and Blackbeard right now is banned a lot, but this isn't the most broken Blackbeard ever has been. In fact, on release, you couldn't even think about headshotting a Blackbeard ever. You see,
This was
Blackbeard had
crazy.
a face shield that mounted on his weapon with a lot of HP, and when I say on this face shield there was a lot of
Dude,
HP, I
watch
mean
this!
a lot of HP.
Who thought this was a good idea? I understand this was 10 years ago, but who thought this was a good idea? In a one-shot headshot game, by the way.
Now, to be fair, back then, he only had 1 face shield, whereas later down the line, the HP would be significantly nerfed and he'd gain 2 face shields. But make zero mistake, 1 Blackbeard face shield was enough, and he was the most played entry fragger on attack for a long time. Longer than he ever should have been. Somebody else who was way too overpowered for way too long was the operator that came out the very next season after Blackbeard, which was Caveira. You might not believe me when I say this, but Caveira, at the time, was the best roamer at one point in the game.
Okay. If my memory serves me correct, I'm pretty sure her pistol did 99 damage to the body. If my memory serves me correct.
On release, Cav's pistol did a whopping 90.
I fucking fucking knew it. I'm such a nerd. Like
9 damage per shot. That is the most amount of damage a pistol has ever done in Siege history.
Insane.
This would allow you to down attackers with one single bullet, either to the head or even to the body. This was huge because downing somebody would and still does give you the ability to interrogate
remember
them.
this.
Interrogating someone works the
He's
exact
gotta
same
talk
way it
about
does now.
Prime
So you
Lion,
already
though.
know
He
how
has
good
to.
and influential an interrogation can be. Not only was her pistol good, but her loadout was better back then. She brought a nitro cell on release, which if you're good is a free kill most of the time. People also didn't have as many roam clear operators back then, which made her even more oppressive. Think about it. Back then, Jackal wasn't out, Lion wasn't out, Dokkaebi wasn't out, and Deimos wasn't out. In fact, not only were there little roam clear operators in the game, but there were no roam clear operators in the game. And with people using flank drones less back then too, Caveira was an absolute menace to the ranked pool.
Dude, they just droned me, but like, they didn't drone me.
type shit.
Oh my god. I'm gonna wait a long time before turning. There's like a lot of people beside me, dude. Oh my god. They're all coming.
Oh, you're in the small tower?
Interrogation.
Interrogation?
Interrogación.
Yeah, covering you?
Yeah.
Your ally wasn't very challenging.
I got another one.
Ways to have fun.
Now the smart thing to do is wait for this to wear off and then
I don't know what the
re-interrogate.
fuck they're doing. They're playing super slow and fast. Like half of their team is playing fast, half of their team is playing slow. And so you get the
Attention shoppers, want to spend less? Go to Aldi.
Dude!
Prices.
Aldi is good though.
Okay. I used to think I was never meant to be beautiful.
Oh,
I was teased because of my
Cynthia!
teeth. I didn't like the person looking back at me in the mirror. I never thought I could afford dental implants. You and your team.
Cynthia, you are beautiful. Please talk about Prime Lion.
those like weird disconnections.
Got right.
Ah, I didn't want to kill him.
Dude, old
sure
Oregon.
we secure
It
the
gets
win.
me wet.
Let's not go overtime against him.
Old Oregon, chat.
Now you here?
He's outside tower, by the way.
Outside tower, right? Okay, I'm gonna go back to site because that's what he has to do. Let's play the objective. Oh, okay. What the fuck?
Old Oregon, dude.
She was by far and large the most broken roamer in the game on release. Well, almost the most broken roamer. You see, we're not accounting for the actual best roamer
Ella.
on release.
It's gotta be Ella. I knew it!
On release didn't have anything honestly that crazy that stood out from the rest that made her so good. Rather, it was the combination of a lot of things that made her a broken operator.
The reason why Ella was broken. Why am I even yapping? You're gonna see in the video. She had 51 bullets. Yes, you heard that correctly. 51 bullets. High fire rate. And 4 Grismod mines.
Overall. First of all, you had her weapon. If you think the Scorpion Evo is a good SMG now, you should have seen the monster it was on release. It had almost 0 recoil, and the same quick fire rate it does now, plus having 50 bullets in the magazine. Pair this up with her being a 3-speed, and this made her the perfect fragger on release. You also have to take into account when she was released. Year 2, Season 3, otherwise known as Operation Blood Orchid, was when her and Legion were released in the same season. Legion was another very powerful
Yeah, this is the start of the trap meta, chat.
Ella already being a great fragger at the same
Start of the trap
time,
meta.
This introduced the first hard meta of Rainbow Six Siege, which was the trap meta. This brings me into my next point, which was her Grismot mines. These mines / traps.
Why every time someone says the word Ella, you guys type mommy? Really, dude? Retweet.
Were good too. On release, her mines would slow you down, take away your ability to sprint, and the concussion effect was much more effective towards actually blinding
Yeah, the
you and
concussion
stunning
would
you with
actually
blade. Plus,
blind
she had
you.
4 of these mines on release, whereas now she only has 3. She even had an innate passive ability that made it to where if she ever got downed, she could manually set off a 5th Ella mine around her to stun anyone in her vicinity. You also have to take into account that movement was a lot faster in Rainbow Six Siege as well back then. You could lean faster and lean farther, you could crouch spam more, and just move faster in general. Her gun and playstyle fit all of these things perfectly.
Alright.
Old Ella, dude. Oh.
Alright.
Alright.
Where is it?
Bar again. Purple bar.
Alright.
Look at the recoil. No recoil. Oh!
Montage. Montage, hold on.
She was probably the most broken defender ever released due to just how easy it was to take gunfights with her in-game on her release.
I kind of
Now that
agree.
we've gone over the most broken defender on this
Oh my
list,
God.
it's time to go over the most broken attacker, and that is Lion.
Lion.
You might be a player right now that thinks Lion is a mid-tier operator, and to be honest, you'd kind of be right. I think as it stands, Lion is perfectly balanced, and in the middle of the pack when it comes to siege balancing, and he's where he honestly should be. But it wasn't always this way. You see, every time you'd Lion scan someone, the information you'd get was a bit different back then, to say the least. Right now, when someone gets scanned by Lion, they get pinged 3 times with a second in between each ping. This ping is also on the operator's body instead of on their head, meaning you can't just wallbang headshot people with the pings that you're provided. So how did Lion scans used to work? Well, instead of pinging you once every second, it was a continuous ping until the duration of the scan was over. Kind of like how Deimos' tracking works now. Not only was it a continuous scan, but instead of pinging you, if you
see their whole
it would
body.
outline your entire body perfectly in red, essentially giving the Lion player and his entire team free wall hacks anytime anyone moved during his scan. People when he released also weren't used to his scan, meaning more people on average would fall for it and move during his scan too. And also you had a huge issue with the other operators that were released. Back in the day, Dokkaebi was also out, and Bolo had started to inspire kids to just play the game a little bit faster than they had been, specifically on people like Buck and Ash. All of these factors, plus more, combined into the most attacker-sided meta Rainbow Six Siege has ever seen. This was the rush meta. Lion on release not only created this meta, but was the single driving factor behind it, allowing people to hit clips like these.
Well, you asked me to open it.
Cafe night map.
Cigar's clear. Vigil's on ping.
There's the Lion scan.
Move through a flash.
Look at that shit.
Wow. Oh my god.
White stairs.
In bathroom.
With any crust and any toppings for just $9.99 online, you can order your dream pizza.
Why do I only get food commercials? Why?
Pizza at Domino's.
Dude, it's actually annoying, bro!
Oh my god, Bolo. What the fuck?
I don't know.
mission successful.
Dude, what the?
Lion was so good, in fact, that Pro League players petitioned for him to be banned from Pro League, which actually ended up happening because everyone voted yes on the petition, or at least most of them did, which is absolutely insane to think about. An operator that was also being petitioned to be banned in Pro League as well is the next defender
back when he had a shield.
He used to work a lot differently than he does now. As of right now, he places 4 canisters that, if destroyed or shot, will blow up and release a pool of fire for 20 seconds. Because of this, he's used as an entry denial operator like Smoke or Tachanka more than anything. But back on his release, he wasn't used for his area denial at all, because back then his gadget not only denied areas, but it was also immediately on a deployable shield. So instead of just deploying the canister like you do now, you would deploy a deployable shield with the canister automatically on the back of that shield. And considering he had 2 of these at the time, that meant that one operator could bring 2 deployable shields. Most of you know that deployable shields are the best.
Dude, this was insane, by the way.
So what people did back then was bring Goyo, another deployable shield, plus Jaeger before his rework, which could deny 9 pieces of utility, and they would bring wall denial. This made it completely impossible to clear all of the defender utility, no matter what operators on the attack were being.
Goyo and Jaeger was like the best duo.
Defender-sided metas ever, which was the utility meta.
Yep, I remember the utility meta. Ember Eyes. I'll never forget the utility meta, dude. Goyo, Jaeger. Goyo,
now,
Jaeger.
you might think that having a utility-based game where utility is the meta is a good thing, especially after just suffering the TDM meta a few years back that I know a lot of you watching hated, but it actually wasn't a good thing. There was not just healthy amount of utility, but way too much of it. That, like I said, no possible combination of attackers could even get 75% of this utility, much less all of it. Goyo single-handedly made this a problem. Not to mention when he came out during Operation Ember Rise, deployable shields were reworked, meaning that you could see in front of the shield, making them way more powerful overnight with this update when Goyo came out. This was bad, and after seasons of complaints, Ubisoft nerfed him to what he is today, which, to be fair, is still a strong operator, but not too overpowered like he used to be. Someone who was too overpowered, though, was the last operator on this list, which was Azami on release.
Oh my god.
And that's exactly what Azami did for the defense, too. Now, unlike other operators...
Okay. Unrelated to everything in this video, Azami used my face as a toilet.
On this list, Azami on release actually works almost the exact same as she does now, but with one crucial difference that makes her much more balanced.
She's so fine. Oh my god, she's so fine.
You see, today, her Kiba barriers are susceptible to bullets, and with a good gun like a DMR, you can get rid of 2 entire barricades with less than 1 magazine in your gun. But back in the day when she was released, she was very quickly crowned as the best defender in the game, seemingly overnight, because back then, her gadget was bulletproof. So just like Goyo gave you 2 extra deployable surfaces, Azami gave you 5 extra deployable.
Also, by the way, she's still the best defender in the game. After, like, an entire nerf.
Surfaces. Not to mention, she brings impact grenades, allowing her to destroy soft utility in her own right. These impacts before the impact nerf also allowed you to trick certain walls and impact trick your own Kiba barrel.
Dude, she's
also had Eagle for some sight setup, making her ability not
she's so good, bro. It's insane.
Absolutely lethal compared to other defenders. One other thing that made her broken was that her Kiba barriers, when
Chat, she's so good, dude.
Its own surface in game, meaning that you could get crazy parkour spots and vault prompts out of nowhere that were never possible before Azami's release. Playing Azami back in the day made you feel like you were a wizard.
You just stand on top of the deer and the place is the closest to the edge.
Like how so exactly?
Like so it's like.
So it's vertical or so it's on top of it?
No, on top of it. So it's hanging off this side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
You can hold a astral window from up top if you reinforce it.
She was very quickly and concisely made the queen of defense second she was released.
Wow.
That's it for today's video. Check out this next video on screen, and I'll see you there.
Yo. That was a banger video, dude. Oh my god. Go subscribe to R6 Central, bro. Go sub to that channel. That was a banger. Oh my god.